Today we're going to be reviewing the Moultrie Delta Cell Camera. And if you're like me, you were probably on a budget and you landed on these guys and wondered, are they worth their money? After 2.5 years of using this in the field for deer, ducks, and turkey, I'm about to tell you if it's worth the money that you're going to spend. First and foremost, let's talk longevity. As you can see here, this thing is dirty, fresh out of the field, and it's missing its antenna. After 2.5 years in the field, it has had a lot of abuse. Probably wondering, why is it so muddy? Why is it cracked? Well, raccoons have climbed all over this thing, muddied it all to pieces. The camera in here is even off center. You might can slightly tell that. So this has certainly been through the ringer the last 2.5 years, but overall, I have been pleased. Mentioned a second ago that this was no longer in use, and I'll show you why. The on-off button here no longer works. The connect status button has a nice play to it. The format SD has a nice click and play to it, but the on-off button is completely dead. I pulled out this inner board, took out all the screws, tried to see if I could fix it, but I could not. There's a little switch there that's tied into the motherboard that I could not get off of there, could not fix it. So it is official, this camera, after 2.5 years in the field, is down and out. Considering the price point of these cameras, I would say the longevity was within margin. You can catch these things on sale between 70 and 80 bucks, sometimes even into the 60s. I've seen Academy and Cabela's drop them that low. So for a $60 to $80 cell camera, I would say that it performed as expected. So I would give the longevity rating a thumbs up. Let's talk battery life. This Delta requires 12 AA batteries. The newer Edge versions can actually run on either 8 batteries or 16, but the Delta requires 12 batteries. And when I was using regular alkaline batteries, I'll be honest with you, this thing ate batteries. And that was even with the megapixels dialed down. Once I switched to lithium ion batteries, it made a huge difference, and this could last in the field a good 3 to 4 weeks, even on a corn pile without having to replace the batteries. Settings makes all the difference. If you go into the Moultrie mobile app, you can adjust the settings, the megapixels, how often it uploads, the frequency, videos versus picture. All that makes the biggest difference as far as your battery life. Even if you have lithium-ion batteries, if you're updating high-quality videos daily, you're going to suck the batteries out pretty quick on these Moultrie Deltas. Next, let's talk overall function of the actual cellular piece of this camera. When I had a regular number 4 class SD card, it did not perform as well. I would notice it'd be a little bit laggy. The pictures would come through a little bit distorted. Once I upgraded to a class 10 SD card, that's that little thing down here in the corner. It's got the C around it with a 10. Once I switched to that, I had no problems actually transmitting to the mobile app. So for battery performance, I give this kind of a moderate to thumbs down. I was really eating up some batteries early on until I figured out kind of how to calibrate this thing and dial it in to be more efficient. So thumbs down for battery life. Regarding overall performance for uploading and quality of images, I will give it a thumbs up, because the images that came through, even at 8 to 12 megapixel, were very clear, very crisp, and very high quality, in my opinion, for a $70, $80 camera. So for picture quality, thumbs up. As previously mentioned, this camera has been in a variety of different environments and has stayed in the field almost the entire year for the last 2.5 years. We run this for early season, August, all the way through the end of deer season, but also switch it into a swamp to run it for ducks. And I get some really cool duck pictures as well. And then come March, we'll throw it into a turkey plot and we try to get turkey pictures as well. So this gets the full year-round use. So for 2.5 years, I'm very pleased with that longevity. Compared to these other ones that are $200, $300, $400, then this is absolutely a thumbs up for price. But with a disclaimer, you get what you pay for. In general, I have been very pleased with the nighttime quality when the battery life is sufficient. When the battery life starts getting down to about 50% and lower, you'll really notice that nighttime quality start to drop off, and eventually the photos will go completely black. Although it'll be transmitting it to the app, you actually won't be able to see anything because the batteries have died too much to where the infrareds will not light up. But when the batteries are moderate to fresh to good, I give it a thumbs up for nighttime quality. The next part of this is reviewing the actual mobile app interface. And in general, I have to give the mobile app a thumbs up. It is very easy to use. It's very user-friendly. The settings are very easy to change. It does sometimes take a couple hours, if not a couple cycles, for the settings to catch up. In general, I've not had any issues with the app, and I've been very pleased. So I give the mobile app a thumbs up. That concludes the Moultrie Delta 2.5-year real field review. We eat up batteries a lot if you don't adjust your settings, and I have a button malfunction broken issue here. Run a higher quality SD card, and don't let the raccoons climb all over your camera and tear it up. But overall, I give the camera a moderate to thumbs up based on the price and performance the last 2.5 years in the field.